Hi everyone! Our planet is a very mysterious place. According to some investigations, we only know about 15% of all the living creatures, which means that about 85% of them remain a mystery to us. Most unknown animals live deep in the ocean waters where humans simply cannot set foot. But sometimes strange things appear, like bodies, photos or stories of fishermen about real monsters, whom you would expect to meet only in fantasy movies. In this video, we're going to show you 5 stories about amazing sea creatures seen by humans. It's up to you to decide whether to believe it or not. Let's get it on. Giant snake. One of the most ancient sea beasts is the giant snake. It was first mentioned in the 13th century chronicles. According to the fishermen, it lived near some caves near Bergen City. Its food consisted of big fish, or sometimes cattle snatched from the locals. Besides, people said that the snake could stretch completely above the water, attack any ship and swallow a whole person. Until 1802, there were 28 documented cases of sailors meeting the giant snake. Between 1802 and 1890, there were 134 cases. And you can find this kind of story all along the 20th century, and even in our day too. But in spite of the frequency of the meeting, there are still no clear photos of the reptile. Strangely enough, the pictures are always blurry. The scientists are trying to define which of the living sea animals can match the giant snake. The one that most fits the profile is the ribbon fish. It lives in the tropical seas and is the largest among bony fishes. It can measure up to 36 feet. Who knows, maybe fishers did meet this unusual fish. Or maybe the ocean is hiding from us a mysterious and dangerous creature. Montauk Monster. The corpse of this mysterious creature was found on American Beach in the summer of 2008. They couldn't identify the animal. The body didn't have a single hair, the skin was smooth and thick, and the neb wasn't like any one of the animals living there. The story was picked up by local papers. There were lots of versions. According to one of them, it was just the rests of a weird sea turtle or even a raccoon. Scientists claimed that the body simply decomposed and swelled up in the water. The lack of hair was also caused by the water, they said. Nevertheless, it is still a mystery whether it's true or not. Stronsay Beast. The Stronsay Beast is the name given to a huge carcass washed ashore on Stronsay Island near Scotland after the storm on 25th of September 1808. The carcass measured 55 feet in length, but the animal could have been longer. The Natural History Society of Edinburgh could not identify the carcass and decided it belonged to an unknown species, probably a sea snake. Later, anatomist Sir Everard Home in London deemed it to be a decayed basking shark. Nevertheless, the largest reliably recorded basking shark was 40 feet in length. So with 55 feet, the Stronsay Beast is still a cryptozoological enigma. Oddly enough, the drawings of the Stronsay Beast's decayed carcass are similar in shape and size to the popular image of the Loch Ness Monster. Zoyomaru Monster. The Japanese trawler Zoyomaru of the Taiyo Company was catching mackerels 30 miles east of Christchurch, New Zealand. Suddenly, a huge animal of about 16 tons got caught in the net at a depth of 1,000 feet. Fishermen lifted a carcass on board. Some people said it was putrefied whale, others were convinced it was a tortoise without a shell. After the photos were published, the monster became immensely popular in Japan, almost beating the famous Godzilla. Many scientists assumed that the fishermen were lucky enough to find the rest of the Plesiosaurus. Others said that it was just a whale or a shark. But what was the mysterious creature entangled in the fish's net? Well, apparently, we'll never know. Kraken. Well, this is probably the most famous sea monster. The legend says that the Kraken lives near the Norwegian and Icelandic coasts. Some people describe it as a giant squid, others as an octopus. The first recorded mention of the Kraken was found in a book by Eric Pontoppidan, who wrote down the stories told by sailors about the creature. In 1752, in the 18th and 19th centuries, zoologists assumed that the creature was a giant octopus. However, in 1861, a piece of a giant squid was found. Over the next 2 decades on the north coast of Europe, a lot of remains of similar creatures appeared. It all had to do with the fact that the temperature in the sea had changed, and that had forced the monster to go up to the surface. According to some of the stories, on the bodies of caught sperm whales, there were marks that looked like the prints of giant tendrils. Until today, no one has caught a single species of the so-called kraken. In some museums, you can see well-preserved remains of supposedly dead krakens. For example, in the Natural History Museum in London, there is a giant 30-foot squid stored in formaldehyde. As you can see, a 23-foot frozen squid in Melbourne Aquarium. Who knows? Maybe there are species bigger than that. But one thing is for sure. Science still has a lot to tell us about the mysteries and wonders that are waiting for us under the water. Let's not forget that the land that we walk on is only a small part of our planet, and we haven't seen it all yet. So, we hope that among our viewers there will be a couple of adventurers that will still tell us about the future, about the wonderful animals living side by side with us.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.